Okay, hey guys, welcome back to another IC Markets pre-market analysis webinar session. Okay, so we will wait for maybe 2 more minutes before we begin the session officially, alright? Okay, let's begin the session. Alright, so before I start the webinar, okay, so this is the disclaimer. Remember that everything in this webinar is educational in nature and nothing should be construed as investment or trading advice. Alright, so remember to do your own due diligence before you guys trade. Okay, so the agenda will be as usual. We will cover the high impact news events for the week ahead and also key technical setups that you can watch out for. All right, good day to you too and to everyone else. All right, so I'm your host for today. My name is Woon, and I'll be going through with you today's session. So we have the key news events that are happening this week. These are the high impact news events. All right, we have USD core retail sales on Monday. Okay, so but for this news itself, it wouldn't really affect the USD currency pairs that much as compared to other high impact news. All right. So for Tuesday, we have CAD CPI. All right, usually for CPI news, it will be more volatile. So please be aware for pairs such as USD CAD, um, CAD CHF, etc. Okay, so for Wednesday, we have tentative JPY news, right? So we will have to watch out for pairs like USD JPY, GBP JPY, and Euro JPY, right? These are the majors and minors that you have to watch out for because they have the most, they are more of the uh, volatile pairs. Okay, then for Thursday we have a lot of news, right? We have the FOMC statement, right? This will definitely move the markets a lot, right? Such as for gold, euro dollar, um, pound yen, etc. Right? Any USD pairs. Okay. Then we also have NZD GDP, right? This would but this is a rather awkward timing, right? This is a timing whereby not a lot of people would be trading during this session itself. Okay, so you don't really have to worry about the NZD pairs at this timing unless you are holding a trade overnight. Okay, then for the yen pairs, we actually have the bank holiday on Thursday, March 20th. So just avoid trading the yen pairs because there wouldn't be much volatility in this for yen pairs, okay, on this day. NZD, USD, and AUD USD will definitely be the ones that you have to watch out for. All right. This will be affected by NZD's GDP as well as AUD's unemployment rate. Then we also have GBP claimant count change, right? Usually for this GBP claimant count change news, right? It will have short fluctuations of about 40 to 50 pips within 30 minutes, that kind of thing, right? So if you want to catch the volatility, right? You can trade it about 15-20 minutes after this news, right? Still can catch a bit of um, volatility. Okay, then for CHF, we have the SNB monetary policy assessment as well as the policy rate. So it will affect pairs like USD CHF, CHF JPY, etc. Okay, then for GBP and USD news will be the later part of the day. Okay, then the last thing is Friday, we have CAD pairs, right? So the whole week itself, we will have a lot of pairs that will be affected, but this is also a good thing, means that we have volume, right? and we are heading towards the later part of the month, right? So usually this last 2 weeks of the month will have more volume. Okay, yeah. So for those that just joined, right, welcome again. All right, and okay, so let's go to the news itself, right? Very, very simple stuff. Let me show you how I break it down on a week-to-week basis. Okay, so we will start off with the daily time frame. GBP USD and AUD USD. Yes, sure, of course. I will go through the majors, right? Then commodities and also indices. So any pairs that you guys want me to go through with you first, just feel free to type in the chat and I will go through with you guys. Okay? So yeah, those will have priority over the other pairs. Okay, but we will definitely start off with DXY, which is the USD index. Okay, so daily time frame, right off the bat, we can see that this is a good level of a pivot point right here. Okay, this is a very nice level for a pivot point. All right, then the next thing we should look at is any support or resistance levels, right? We can see that this is a valid support level right here. Okay, oh, wrong tool. Okay, this is our first support. All right, then we will go to the next one, which is our resistance level. Okay, this is a solid resistance level because it is our pullback resistance level. Okay, then this support is also a pullback support level. These two levels you have to be careful because these levels are untapped, and meaning that these are fresh levels. Okay, so there is a good possibility for this to have pullback, right? But from what we can see, as of right now, price is still um, bearish, right? We are creating lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, right? What is next? Price might come up to this first resistance level as a pullback, creating a lower high, possibly even going lower right here. Okay, so for now, if our sentiment for DXY is that it might actually go up, right? So pairs such as USD, Euro dollar, GBP USD will go in the opposite direction, right? DXY goes up, these pairs go down, right? But for UJ, SDCHF, USD CAD, it will usually follow the direction of DXY. Okay, so you will have to be careful for that. Right, so let's see if we can find any flip retracement over here, right? We will use the most recent swing highs and swing lows, which are these two levels. I believe it aligns very nicely with the 61.8% flip retracement, which is roughly about here. Okay, so this is extra confirmation that price would likely come towards this area and fall further. Okay, where is my, yeah, okay, then let's see. I think this is a pretty good area for our fib, and let's see, 61 passed already, so we can't use this. We can't use the 61 because it has already broken past this 61.8%. So all our horizontal levels don't align with the fib level, so we'll just leave the fib level out for now. Only use this 61.8%. Okay. Right, bullish arrow. Okay, so the next thing we need to go through is, okay, let's go through GBP USD as requested. Okay, GBP USD. Right, so the next thing that we should look at is always look at the direction first, right? So we can see price is now in a bullish direction. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is try to find out if there are any important levels, right, that we can look for buy opportunities. Okay, which is this level over here. We'll place this as our pivot point, right? And this is our support level. Okay, our support level over here. All right, then for our resistance level will be this high over here. And why this high is that price has actually reacted multiple times, right, at this key level, right? So that's why we can see that there is a possibility for price to continue upwards, right? We are waiting for it to come back to this level, this pullback level, right? Go higher and possibly even testing this level afterwards. Because we have this extreme swing high point that hasn't been tapped in since September 2024, right? Which shows that is a very good opportunity for euro dollar to actually reach this extreme swing high area. Okay, so that's why we are sticking to the buys and following the trend. All right, yeah, for now we are looking for price to reach this pivot point. Should be about the same as when DXY reacts to this resistance level over here. Okay, so you can just use both as a correlation. All right, so this is our resistance level. Okay, put it here. Okay, resistance level. For support, pivot. Okay, very simple stuff. Pivot point right here. Okay, then this, we shall delete this. All right, then let's see if it aligns with any of the fib levels. Okay, top. Oh, where is my labels? Top. Okay, so it aligns nicely with the 23.6 for our pivot point, and for our support, it aligns nicely with the 50% retracement level over here. Okay, so wait, why did it change? Okay, okay, very nicely. Okay, you can see 23.6 align nicely with our pivot point, 50% retracement align nicely with the first support level. Okay, everything is on the everything is on the daily chart. All right, then the next thing we will have to look at is AUD/USD. Okay, AUD/USD. All right, so right now for AUD/USD, let me see. Okay, it is still rather bearish, right? Because if you have a major downtrend, right, you can see this major downtrend over here. Okay, right, then price created this correction upwards, right? But the issue with this correction is that we might continue downwards over here. Okay, this is the issue with this correction, right? Because if you mark out these levels, if I were to use this, where is my, oh, is this my channel? Yeah, this is my channel. Okay, if I were to mark this level out, you can see that price is still will definitely trade within this range over here. All right, so if you go to H4, you can see that price, wait, let me draw out. Yeah, you can see that price is doing uptrend consolidation. What's next? Possible uptrend upwards to this level before we can look for other sell opportunities. Okay, but let's mark out our daily time frame first. All right, so this is our, yeah, I think this is a good level. Okay, this is just a swing high level. All right, this is okay. All right, then this is our support level. All right, then this is our, where's a good resistance level? Yeah, here. All right, so this overlap resistance level is a pretty good resistance level right here. This is our pivot point. Okay, right, there is a possible scenario whereby price will actually respect this swing high area, and we will drop off from there. Okay, so we will place this as our first resistance. Okay, ideally we still would like to see price consolidating and going down from here. Okay, this is what we want to see. All right, and hopefully which day, yeah, I think for this day itself, Thursday, then we might see movement for AUD USD, because personally I don't really trade NZD USD and AUD USD because of how slow it might take to reach certain targets, and it lacks that volatility that I'm looking for. All right, so yeah, let me see. Okay, even if I draw a fib on the daily time frame from the swing high all the way to this swing low, right? And I mark out, I think 38%, 38.2, right? Price has actually already reached this 38.2% fib retracement. So you wouldn't want to use this again, right? Okay, then the next thing, yeah, we are looking at is these levels over here. Yeah, okay, so let me just put this. Okay, let's go to USD CAD. Okay, USD CAD. Yeah, okay, so for USD CAD, right, the issue is that it is now also consolidating in this area, right? Previously, when this level was marked out from this swing high, you are marking out a projection level, right? And then you can see, right, price actually stopped at this level, right, and failed to come towards this 61.8 Fibo projection. So we shall not use this projection level anymore, right? What we want to see is, let's mark out a fresh, let me see, yeah, it is a clearer direction, right, for price to have a break above this high to come towards this level over here, right? It makes more sense because we are in a very strong uptrend, right? Same as DXY, we are in a uptrend for DXY. Oh, sorry, downtrend, but possible short-term uptrends. Okay, so for USD CAD, we want to look. Wow, USD CAD is actually breaking all these highs since 2018, right? Yep. So let's see if price will actually break out towards this upside. Okay, so yep, I would like to put this as upside confirmation. But there's two scenarios that we can look out for. Okay, so let's just put this as our pivot point. All right, then this is our first resistance, right? Then our support level is this support right here. Okay, let's see how many pips is the distance for both. I think it's 250. Yeah, it's about 250. Okay, 250 pips SL. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we go to H4, right? There is a likelihood, my bias is definitely bullish, right? So what I'm looking at is for price to actually break past this level, right? You can see we are still consolidating here. Once it breaks out, retest, and this is what we are looking at. Okay, so this is what we are looking for. I think on the daily, yeah, let's stick to what we want to see. Is we want to see a breakout. Okay, let's see. I think this makes more sense. Okay, let's put this as upside confirmation. This makes a lot more sense. I like this better, right? Once it breaks these highs over here. Okay, let's place this. bullish. Let me see. Okay, I think this is fine. I think this should be fine. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing that we will have to look at, okay, let's put it like this. Bearish trend line, bullish trend line dotted, bearish trend line dotted. Okay, simpler stuff. Okay, then Euro JPY. Okay, Euro JPY. So far, I think price has changed from bearish to bullish, right? Just based off the fact that we have already have a change of character right here, right? So this could signalize that this could symbolize that price could continue coming up towards these highs right here. Okay, so let me see. H4. Okay, daily. Okay, let's see if we have any possible sell entries, right? Because basically we've already missed the buy entries, right? Price could continue going up to this resistance level and then come down, right? So let's see if we can find any sell opportunities. Okay, so ideally what we are looking at is for price to come up to this high right here, which is I think at the 161.8% fib level. Yep, it's about the 161.8% fib level over here. Okay, so imagine this Nike tick, right? Remember, this is our extension level. All right, our fib extension level, right? So price would most probably come to this level and then show rejection over here, right? Because if you look at price itself, once this gets broken, it will definitely get broken, right? Because this is your liquidity sweep area, right? Once this trend line get broken, price will come here and fall off, right? Because once we have swept liquidity, usually once you have swept liquidity right here, like for example, usually people will sell here, right? Once their stop loss gets taken out, the next level of resistance or even your supply area is a more confirmed sell area. All right, so this is one thing to take away, right? Usually once liquidity that gets swept, then we will fall off from the following level of area. Okay, so let's put this as our bearish trend line. Okay, then this is our pivot point. Okay, 161.8 Fibo extension level. All right, then this will be our support level right here. Okay, not super clean, right? You can see how price protrudes a little bit, but it's fine. We can just keep this level right here. Okay, this is our support level. As for our resistance level, let's zoom out a little bit, right? This, I think we can use the next swing high resistance level. Okay, this is our swing high resistance level. So if you would like to sell, right, let's say for example I sell here, is much better than trying to take a buy position. Okay, you could also take a buy position, but I believe we have already missed this buy opportunity right here. If I want to take a buy, I would have taken a long position here, right? Short-term long positions until this level of the high, but we have already missed it, so it's okay. We will look for potential sells. All right. so let's place this as a bearish arrow. Okay. All right, then next thing we will look at is GBP CHF. Okay, GBP CHF. GBP. Oh, we don't have. Oh, let me add this. GBP CHF. Okay, I see markets. Where is my GBP CHF? Oh, okay, move it to here. Okay, GBP CHF. All right. Wow, it's so choppy. Wow, GBP CHF actually reacts very nicely to such a level, right? I've never seen a pair react so nicely for the longest time, right? If you guys see this level, right, this consolidation zone, you can buy, sell, buy, sell, buy until it actually successfully breaks out. So I think it's quite an interesting pair. So far, I think my buy level, I think this would be a good pivot point, right? This is a solid pivot point for me, right? And this is, wow, this is such a strong level. But I believe yeah, this is okay. For support, okay, and then we have our resistance level over here. Okay, so let's see. I think for GBP CHF, let's go to H4. I think we might be able to find a H4 entry. Yeah. H4. Wow, this level would have been such a nice area to buy from, right? If I were to mark out, if let's say price is at here, right? If price was right here, this was such a nice, I think this was a good level to buy from. Did it tap? I'm not sure if it tapped. My entry would have been at 1.13. Not sure if it tapped or not. Let's see. Nope. Okay, it didn't tap my entry. So far, GBP CHF, I think it might actually take a while before it starts to go even higher, right? Because on the daily time frame, right, price has already passed this support level, right, and it might come towards this resistance level. Okay, but the one thing that I'm worried for GBP CHF is that it has already now became bullish, right, creating multiple higher highs and higher lows, right? So price might actually continue upwards here. Okay, so I think if you want to enter GBP CHF, right, my pivot point will definitely be at this area over here. I think this is a much better area. Okay, let me see, pivot, and then our support level over here. Okay, then this is our resistance level. I think this makes a lot more sense. Okay, yeah, because this area, right, usually when once price breaks past these lows and even break past these lows, right, you can see okay, let me just break it down a little bit. right? This is a good level for supply, right? You can see how price actually reacted, okay? And then swept liquidity, all right? So the next level is this level, right? That's why it actually came down from here. All right, then the next thing you want to look at is how price might actually react to this level, right? Price actually came down, but there is a high probability for price to take out these highs and react to this level over here. Okay, so but you just have to be careful for that. H4, let me see. Okay, so we have another area right here, right now for H4. So what we are looking at is for price to take out this liquidity over here, all right, and then it will probably drop down to this level because we have once again created a new level of supply. All right, new level of supply, takes out these highs, come to this level of supply, and then you sell. So I think it's pretty safe, okay, for GBP CHF, right? Yeah, I think this is a nicer level. Okay, let me see. If I were to mark out, okay, projection, yeah, okay, so price might react to this 100% fit projection over here. All right, so we will place this as our sell. Okay, I think this makes quite a bit of sense. All right, so we have covered the ones in the chat. Okay, so let's go through euro dollar. All right, I think euro dollar is quite an interesting pair right now, right? Let's see. Okay, I think for me, this is a very solid level over here, right? This is a solid pivot point, right? Because we have price reacting to this high initially, broke past, price acting as a support, broke past, price might come up to reach this level over here, all right, as a nice resistance level. Okay, so we will place this as our pivot point, and then our resistance level is these two equal highs over here. Okay, our support, I think it will be pretty far, roughly about this area, right? This is where price actually had a strong support level on the daily time frame, broke past and almost acted as a resistance. So now break past, what's next? Price could possibly react to our pivot point, come down to this support level. Okay, let's see how this might play out. Alright, because we definitely need some correction before price bounces again. Okay, so let's place this as our first support. Alright, then if we want to look at your fib levels, let's see if we can find any fib levels. Alright, we have this 78.6% Fibo retracement level at our pivot point. Okay, so we'll place this as our bearish area. Okay, let's see. How to mark out this high, this low. Yeah, we can't use this. Yeah, I think this is okay. This is fine as of now. Let's see, because this is a pretty good level of supply, right? I think if we go to H4, you can see how it reacts to this level, right? Yeah, so far it hasn't broken these lows yet, but if it breaks these lows, right, if it breaks past these lows, then we will have a new H4 supply area right here. All right, then instead of taking your trades from this pivot point, right, what you want to do is take a trade from this supply area. Okay, But the most important thing that you have to remember is that we want to see these lows getting taken out, right? So far, price hasn't closed below these lows yet, right? So price could continue coming towards our pivot point. All right. So I think euro dollar will be quite interesting this week, right? Especially when we have FOMC on Thursday. Okay. Apart from that, I think core retail sales won't really affect the markets that much in a sense. All right. Okay. Moving on to GBP USD. Yeah, we covered that. Let's go for UJ. We have already missed this. It's fine. Hmm. Okay, let's see. I think ideally, what we might want to look at, right, is we have already missed this. So let's change this to our pivot point, this to our support. Okay. All right, then this is our resistance level over here. Okay, I think this makes more sense because we have already missed, and it's quite a lot of pips. From here, we had a previous entry, right? 213 pips already has passed from our previous level, right? So we want to take a look at this other pivot point, right? But of course, if you look at the H4 time frame, let's see, yeah, okay, there is one level right here where if price actually takes out this level, okay, if price takes out this um, overlap resistance level, right? I think H4, can we see it? H4 is a little bit messy, but on the daily time frame, you can see that obviously this level is a overlap resistance level, a minor one, right? So if it actually breaks past this level, the next level that we want to look at is this pivot point. Okay, then we will have more confidence to enter a trade at this pivot point here, right? Because we can see price breaking past this area, so there is a likelihood of price rejecting this pivot point. All right, so I think you can do something like this where you put a buy alert if price actually crosses, yeah, if price actually crosses this high. Where is my, okay, if price actually breaks past this high right here, okay, like this, right, then we want to look at possible sells at this area right here. Okay, this for UJ, right, because it follows DXY. So if I were to look at this DXY, most likely we will tend to go up from this area, so UJ will most likely go up as well. mm, yeah, 38 and 61.8. Okay, these are my levels. Okay, then USD CHF, let's see. Yeah, this is nice, looks fine to me. Okay, USD CHF about the same as USD JPY. We have a pivot point here, which is a overlap resistance level at the 38.2% feeble retracement level, as well as our first resistance, which has a 61.8% retracement as also. Okay, will most likely work in the same way as UJ, right? Because we will follow the direction of DXY. Okay, then the next thing is UK AU. We already went through NZD USD. Okay, so for NZD USD, let me clear everything and let me just mark it out. Okay, this is our pivot point. Okay, if we mark out our pivot point, this is the only other pivot point that I can see, right? Yeah, I think this is a nice level. right here. Okay, this is our pivot point, and then where is our resistance level? Yeah, this is our resistance level. Okay, then this is our support level right here. Okay, this is for the daily time frame, and let's see, let me see if I'm able to find any. I think it most likely react to this level over here. Yep, I think it's fine. Okay, 38.2 and 50. Alright, I think these levels are okay. It's pretty decent. Oops. Right. We have 38.2% retracement and 50% retracement over here at our pivot and first resistance respectively. So let's see how this might actually play out. Once price takes out these highs, right? These highs, okay, then our next level will most probably have a pullback and possibly go higher to this level right here, because we will definitely want to see a correction, all right, towards the upside. Okay, let me see AUD USD. Okay, NCD USD. Yeah, I think this should be fine, right at this level over here. 38 and 50. Okay. Then this is our bearish. Okay, we have covered all the majors. Okay, let's look at gold. Right now, okay, so for gold itself, right, the only levels that I could possibly think of, right, is price reacting to 127 and 61, right? If I were to mark out these levels, 161. Okay, if I were to mark out these levels right here, I go to H4, we can see that 127.2%. Let's go to H. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, well, H4. Okay, 127.2% is still hovering at this level over here. Okay, so let's see if price will actually. Yeah, but since we are in a very strong uptrend, right, we will want to enter buys instead. Okay, let's see, pivot, and then yeah, pivot, and this is our. Yeah, this is such a nice area. Let me see. This is a support level. This is our resistance. Okay, we shall put this as 127.2. Okay, I think daily should be fine. Okay, I think daily looks better. Alright, then this is our pivot point. What we want to do is we want to stick to buys. Okay, we want to stick to buys. Alright, don't try to go against the trend unless you see it having a clear structure on the H1 or the H4. Right, so far we can't really see a proper structure, even though this some people might deem this as something like head and shoulders, right? But the issue with this is that price has broken these lows but with a wick, right? It's not very strong. What we want to see is body closure, right? Meaning that this should have been a bearish candle, right? But since it's not, then we don't really have that much of a confirmation that price would continue to fall from here. All right, so what we want to do is wait for price to come down to this pivot point, and then we take a buy upwards. Okay, right, so far gold is a bit dangerous, right? There is a possibility for it to actually go towards the 161.8% fib retracement, fib extension as well. All right, so you will have to be careful for that, because usually for gold, right, if you notice, once it reaches extension levels, it will tend to show rejection from there. All right, so of course, yeah, let's mark this out. 127.2. Okay, let me see this. 161.71. Wow, very nicely. Okay, this is for gold itself. Let me see projection. Yeah, I think this pivot point is very interesting, because on the H4, if we draw a projection, we can see it aligns very nicely with the 100% fib projection over here, right? And if you draw a fib, I believe that it aligns with the, let me see, yeah, 38.2% right here on the H4. Okay, for daily, we haven't created the new candle yet, but on H4, we have definitely created a very nice level right here where there is projection, as well as left, middle, bottom. Yeah, as well as the 38.2% Fibo retracement, as well as 100% Fibo projection. Okay, this is for gold. Alright, then okay, for oil, not so much of any changes right now, right? But I hope that oil will be able to recover, because it has been in a very bearish downtrend, right? Breaking past all these swing lows, right? We definitely need a correction towards the upside. But of course, I think this is a nicer level. I think this is a nice level for it to continue downwards. All right. Let's see any levels that we can look for. I think this is fine. Okay. This is our support. Alright, then let's look at any fib levels. Does it align with any of the levels? Okay, 23.6%. And yeah, let's place this as 23.6. Okay, so this is bearish. Alright, then the next thing is, I think the last thing that I want to go through is BTC USD. Right, let's go through BTC USD, because as of right now, BTC USD has actually been making a lot of moves, especially at this area right here, where it had such a nice sell opportunity towards the downside. Okay, so right now my bias, I think, for BTC USD is for it to react to this level over here, right? This level aligns very nicely with my fib projection retracement. Okay, and then we are projecting it to come towards this level again and fall off, right? If I were to go to daily, Okay, let's see. I think this is a pretty interesting level. Oh, it's rather messy over here. Let's see. Fit projection, high, low. Yeah, actually for BTC USD, I think the best area, very unlikely, but this is a level that price might actually come into, and we can possibly do buy entries from here. All right, and I think this might be at the 127.2%. Yep, 127.2% fib extension. All right, and yeah, and at the 61.8% fib projection. Okay, if price actually comes towards 74k, right, this is a very good level for buys. Okay, then this is our resistance level, and then our support will be this level over here. Okay, bullish arrow. Okay, this is for BTC USD. All right, then we've covered everything. Okay, let's do some indices before we end off the session. Price actually, okay, let me see. Yep, this is a very nice level for our pivot point. Our resistance level will be this. I would say this is a resistance level. Okay, first resistance. Right, I don't really like how it cuts through this whole area, right, without really reacting to it. Okay, so this is our resistance level. Then our support level will be here, right, on the daily. We'll use the most recent support level. All right, and then if we draw a fib from this high all the way to this low, put all fibs, right, 23 and 50. Okay, our entries will be based off the 23.6% Fibo retracement, and our resistance level is at the 50% Fibo retracement level. All right, then we would want to take the cells. Oops, excuse me, bearish arrow. Okay, yeah, this is it for US30. Okay, let's see. Oh my goodness, right, this is a nice level. Okay, but so far I think based off this level, we want to enter sells off next because we have missed the buy already. Okay, so we want to delete this and place. Okay, resistance level will be this highest. Okay, very simple stuff. I think wait, let me see. 100. Yep, we have the 50% Fibo retracement level at our pivot point. All right, which is our sell level. Okay, then our resistance level is at this swing high level. All right, our support will be at this area. Okay, I think it's pretty straightforward for our, oh wait, let me see if we can find 71.8. Yep, 78. Oh, okay, Right, this pivot point, we have 78.6% feeble projection and 50% feeble retracement right here. So this is a really good opportunity for sales on the S&P 500 index, right? If you are able to catch these sales. Okay, all right, so that's all from me to you guys, right? I hope you have caught all the trades and have taken down all, if not most of them, and see how it actually plays out for the rest of the week ahead. All right, so that is the end of my session today. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's session as much as I did. So remember to stay safe, trade safe, and I shall see you guys next week again for the pre-market session. All right, take care and bye bye.